Dr. Kohli, your assessment of this entire situation, although there are telltale signs that Donald Trump may relent on adding that 25% extra that he spoke about on Truth Social.
Well, good evening, Vineet. Good evening to my fellow panelists and NewsX viewers. Well, my opening title to this whole episode is Vinash Kale Viparit Buddhi. That is the classic slogan which goes behind this episode. So things seem to be getting worse. Cancellation of this trip of 25th August. The dialogue which has been going on. I completely concur with Ambassador Mukherjee when she said that he's using it as a punching bag. He thinks India is a cakewalk. What he did with Bangladesh, what he did with poor nations, I call them bicharas, Indonesia. I'm sorry, I don't mean to disrespect any nation, but I'm talking from Donald Trump's perspective. Vietnam, Bangladesh, Indonesia, people who said, sir, jo bhi tariff laga do, bas band mat karo humse. He thinks India is in that category, and he's blatantly wrong, is I would say. You cannot take India for granted anymore. I don't know what perception he has about India that put India in the Brazil category. Brazil, India, both 50%. We are the two nations around the world which have been slapped with the highest tariff. 41% was supposed to be his highest slab. We have somehow crossed that slab. So he's formed a new slab for us. This is what we do when we want to punish sin goods, when we want to discourage sin goods in GST. We put them in 49, 50%, 52% when we want to discourage. So say that you don't want to do trade with us. Why are you imposing tariffs? I think a better way for President Trump would be that we don't want any imports from India. I think he should have just said that and ended the story once and for all. Do you think we are dying to sell to America? Yes. As Ambassador Mukherjee, reminded of my own statement, I respect her memory first of all. Yes, this will, in other words, make our goods uncompetitive. About $50 billion as far as total numbers are concerned. So what? We are here to look for other markets. Commerce Ministry in India, Vineet, is already on a task to locate alternate markets. And Prime Minister and some of the ministers of the cabinet have been very categorical. They may not have named President Trump. If from the Red Fort, ramparts of Red Fort, Prime Minister said, let's go Swadeshi. And in one of his earlier speeches, he said, ye dadagiri nahi chalegi. You can't bully us. We are not sitting in a classroom where, one big boy is trying to bully. I think President Trump has to come out of his schooling days when probably he was a bully or whatever, he was. I don't know. He has to come out of that mindset. He has to grow up, I would say. I'm sorry to say that, but he has to grow up because this pressure tactic is not going to work. And let me also tell you, we need something. This is not about Russian oil. This is not about agri-dairy. This is about ego. There is in 3 letters, this is an egoistic device because he says, whatever I said, why did India not accept it? When I said, there's a big I in inverted commas, how dare a country like India, a country which is probably a land of snake charmers, a country which is overpopulated, a country with so many poor people, the kind of impression that he carries in mind, ye bichare, how dare they don't agree to what I'm saying. I think this is thus a fight of ego. It is not about, if it was about Russian oil, then China was ahead of us. If it was about Russia, then America by itself has shown 50% growth in the imports, which he expressed his ignorance. I'm sorry, I don't know. We are exporting from Russia. How can he not know that $3 billion of export has been happening from Russia? So this is neither about Russian oil. Now I'm getting increasingly convinced, Vineet, this is not about Russian oil. This is not about agri-dairy. This is about the ego that how dare a country like India, he probably looks at our per capita and so and so. What he forgets is that this is the fastest developing nation. This is going to overtake some of the major economies. His own economy can be in danger. And what he's also forgetting, that there is a very strong Indian diaspora which is in America, which runs America for that matter. If you take out the techies out of America, I can guarantee you, because I'm a startup mentor myself, and in Silicon Valley, I mentor some 200 startups. And I can tell you, you can take this as an inside information, but I don't mind revealing it here because it's just now getting down to the point where we have to open our cards. If you take out techies from America, if you take out doctors from America, if you take out the medical ecosystem of India from America, I can guarantee you America will come to a standstill, which is why I said earlier, and I would like to reiterate with your permission, it is time for that 6 million diaspora to rise now. Submit a memorandum. Let the White House PIOs, the second lady of America, she's an Indian. Let those people holding prominent position in White House rise and give a memorandum. कि साहब क्या कर रहे हो यार, थोड़ी अकलमंदी की बात करो. I think that is the time. This is high time they should be talking like that. And I'm sure he'll turn around. Although, having said that, I'd like to conclude by saying that President Trump is highly unpredictable. सुबह कुछ, दोपहर को कुछ, शाम को कुछ, next day कुछ. He's known for flip-flops. So let's not jump to conclusions too soon. But then, as is the position today, we have to respect and make a comment on that, Willie.